What I believe Vergil represented to the author or writer is a very honor-driven conduct. So imagine yourself as a human being going throughout life, and you encounter various situations that cause an attack or a struggle with your own internal sense of self-esteem or self-respect. In the case of Vergil, the storyline that was introduced in Devil May Cry 5 was very much beginning with his sense of abandonment. His mother didn't come back for him as far as he knew it. And I'm sure that Vergil's character development, in terms of how far he got driven into this sort of fall to darkness archetypal narrative, it would have had to be a lot more events. There would have had to be a lot more events happening in his life, grieving him and tormenting him, than just the thing with his mother and his early childhood with Dante related to that. We can assume that at some point, based on the story, going through a period of being separated and isolation and having to fend for himself in some way, that Vergil dealt with people or demons or some kind of entities that were trying to hinder him, break him down, take advantage of his vulnerability. Who knows what that entails? Use him, manipulate him, dominate him, or something of the sort. And this is heavily hinted to in the dialogue that Nero shares with V, this sort of fragment of Vergil made into its own person in Devil May Cry 5, and openly admitting that he's the part of Vergil that wanted to be loved and protected, basically sheltered from that ugly sort of dog-eats-dog concept of a world, survival of the fittest. He wanted to be sheathed and covered and hidden far from view from that ugly element of life. However, falling short of that ideal of feeling protected and shielded from the harsher elements of characters in the world and the world itself leaves someone like Vergil feeling bitter or hurt or attacked or victimized, and it causes a potential gap for a certain reaction to that hurt and pain to manifest, which becomes the way that Vergil very much characterizes himself. So if you look closely at the kind of dialogue and overall characterization and stylization of Vergil, he seems to be trying to conduct himself with a posture of the strong, silent type, and also very much the serious type. He talks when necessary if left to his own devices. He's not the type to, say, clown around in the same way Dante is. It's not that there's no room for sort of a more goofy, kind of funny side of Vergil or any manifestation of it, but that aspect of character development, though it may exist in him, is highly, highly suppressed. So it only comes out for a brief instance in, say, an interaction in Devil May Cry 3 when Dante approaches him and makes the joke about everything he's doing in that event being kind of likened to a party or throwing a bash, and Vergil giving a kind of playful, passive-aggressive response. I suspect, for example, that if you heard Vergil interact with a woman, even a woman he might in some way be deeply attracted to, for example, potentially whoever he met and got together with to cause the birth of Nero, I think the way Vergil would interact with a woman would be extremely radically different from the way Dante would interact with a woman. I think it would be way less playful and kind of flirtatious, and maybe he might go for something like a more knightly protector aesthetic or something kind of functionally different from Dante, who's more likely to opt for the playboy kind of routine. A character like Vergil, I think what their overall style usually indicates is a desire to protect weak people or weak things, and to take power, to enact a form of employing a moral role of the protector or the honorable protector even. So what you see is that The cause of this kind of mindset is a direct clash with characters like Dante, for example, who are expressing sort of different characterization of how they approach the same stimuli and problems. Vergil perceives the character and nature of Dante to be too much likened to the people that he feels his previous goal of self was mistreated, abused by, and humiliated by. The type of people that he's not going to let them go, he's not going to let them off the hook, and he's certainly not intending to let them rub off on him too much. Though there's more challenge involved when he's dealing with Dante, because he has an emotional connection and a relationship with Dante as a brother. Hello there, Eric McRae here, Asparagus Party. Just want to share a friendly reminder that if you enjoy the content I'm producing, it's very helpful for me if you would like the videos and subscribe to my channel, and also that if you're willing or interested in donating to help my channel growth, I do have a donor box page and a link in every video description. With that said, let's get into the video. Thank you very much for your time.